So theoretically, we should be live, hopefully. Let's see if I can find the live stream stuff here. Yeah, there's a live stream. So theoretically, we should be live. And also should also be working, I guess. Let me just check if I can hear myself. Working, I guess. Yes. Okay, great. So nobody's here yet, but that's not a problem. I would say hello to everyone here that's looking at this a little bit later. So this is the second time I'm gonna stream, or I'm streaming this week. That's because of the goal we set 2 weeks ago. Yeah, to stream 2 times, actually. So let me check if I can see how many people are here. Analytics. Okay. I'm not sure if I can see anything, but we'll see. It's a little bit later than I expected to stream today, but life got in the way. So I'm just gonna start. Someone just joined, I guess. If it's not myself viewing myself here. So there's a 1 in my viewer account right now. I'm gonna just say hi. Hi there. Oh, and I'm also gonna create a post that I'm actually streaming. So let me just create this. Create a post. I'm live again. I cannot type. I'm live again. Come and join me. Join me. For the love of God, I can't type when I'm talking. Okay. So this is published. So let's actually just start watching something here until someone joins and talks to me, I guess. So the first one is just left. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the prime time again with the Firefox situation.
Look at this face. That's the last face you'll see before you get hit with a brand new AI browsing experience from Mozilla. That's right, Firefox is continuing to gain traction in irrelevancy. Now, the thing about Firefox, for those that don't know, is that Firefox originally started off as a browser that was meant to be a privacy kind of security focused browser. It was a browser for nerds by nerds. And yeah, it never gained a huge amount of market share depending on the year you're looking at. It seems to be always hovering somewhere between 3 to 5%. And I think at its height, it got all the way up to 11. But not too long ago, Firefox made a very explicit change that has kind of really fractured the trust of the browser itself. Now, this is a GitHub diff. You may not be familiar with diffs, but effectively this is just code that has been removed from one of their public repositories. Lots of comments on it. People are not very happy about this code. But let me read it for you. Does Firefox sell your personal data? Nope, never have, never will. And we protect you from advertisers who do. Firefox products are designed for your privacy. Now that's a promise. This was deleted earlier this year. Firefox has been making many moves to really kind of drift from its original North Star. And a lot of this is in response to them being tightly coupled with Google. With Google, they are making about 80% of all of their revenue. And that's coming in by having Google as the default search engine. So
it's such a cool sweater, by the way, with the Arch logo here. I didn't realize it until now.
Now, what is going to be the outcome of the DOJ monopoly lawsuit of Google?
Can probably buy them in his shop, right? Does he have something like that? I'm not sure. Maybe in terminal.shop you can buy Arch sweaters now.
I have no idea. Not a lawyer, don't pretend to be. But one can assume that if there has to be a fundamental change in which these other browsers interact with Google search, will Mozilla lose some of its income? Probably. 80% of its income currently comes from Google. If that cuts in half, would that make a problem? Probably. As you can see right here, they've already been positioning themselves to take a different direction. Now, the new CEO, Anthony, writes an article and kind of declares himself the new CEO, and this is the new vision of Firefox. The essence of the article can really be summed up right here, where he gives kind of like, what is the future of Firefox? As Mozilla moves forward, we will focus on becoming the trusted software company. This is not a slogan. It's a direction that guides how we build and how we grow. Oh, brother. I mean, imagine deleting a promise of never selling your data just 8 months earlier and then having the actual gall to write this. I mean, this Anthony fella got some balls. So now, when he says he wants to become the most trusted company, he says, well, this means 3 things. Now, this is going to be where it takes kind of a bizarre twist here. First, every product we build must give people agency into how it works. Privacy, data use, and AI must be clear and understandable. Now, you probably going, okay, whoa, what's this AI thing? Firefox doesn't have an AI thing. What do you mean I need to understand how this works? Are you asking me like understanding how ChatGPT.com works? No. Controls must be simple. AI should always be a choice, something people can easily turn off. Kind of sounds like you're going to be putting AI in the,
That sounds like it, yeah.
Not everything needs to have AI. You know that, right? People should know why.
Not everything needs to have AI. I don't know if people know that. Seems like everything needs to have AI these days, right?
A feature works in the way it does and what value they get from it. Second, our business model must align with trust. We will grow through transparent monetization that people recognize and value. See, again, you kind of deleted that promise, which makes it hard for me to believe what you're saying now. Third, Firefox will grow from a browser into a broader ecosystem of trusted software. Firefox will remain our anchor. It will evolve into a modern browser and support a
modern AI browser. You missed that, Prime.
Portfolio of new and trusted software additions. So there you have it. Firefox is going to become an AI browser. That is how they're going to be doing their transparent monetization that people will recognize and value, because people value AI. Sure, Microsoft scales back AI goals because almost nobody is using Copilot, but don't worry.
Oh, hi and welcome. Lonely stranger walking into this empty chat room. How you doing? Hey there. I just see a number that you're here. I don't know who you are or what your name is until you chat. Oh, Miguel, it's you. Hey, Miguel. How are you? How are you doing? Just started a stream a few minutes ago. Yeah, me too. Just got to the stream a little bit later than I actually. Oh, you're pumped for the holidays? Miguel is pumped for the holidays. Yeah, I can imagine. Do you get some free time on your hands? Going to visit some family or something? Probably. Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe you just have some free time. Or you're pumped for working on the holidays. It could also be great if you love your work. Oh, okay. 2 kids. I can imagine, but it's fun, right? It's gonna be fun. May I ask how old they are? Like really little, or like in the middle where they actually can celebrate this? Okay, so they are excited. So if they are excited, you're excited too. Or at least, so the one kid is excited. I guess the 4-month-old is not gonna be that excited. Or he's really like a super brain. And like superhumanly evolved already. Yeah, my little one is about a little bit more than 1.5 years old, and yeah, he's not quite getting the concept right yet, but we'll see. it's gonna be fun, I guess. Yeah, I only have one. Only this one. Who knows what might be next? But it's nothing is planned right now. Yeah, that's probably I guess like maybe next year, shortly before he's gonna be 3 years, then he'll probably already like be excited for this, I guess. Yeah, this year he will just be happy that there's some what's bugger called in English? I don't know. Like some machinery that can dig holes. It is yellow most of the time, at least here in Germany. Like all right. Your daughter made you put up light and decorations. That's great. Yeah, I've got a little bit of decorations here myself, but he's just excited to see them, but he didn't put me up didn't push me to put them up. Yeah, exactly. Like the dump trucks are the ones that can like dump the stuff on the ground, and the digger, digger it is probably. Yeah, well, always like if we are outside and there's some kind of digger or something that's just looking like, then he's all over it. Yeah. Alrighty. Also, there are 2 other people in here, I guess. Hi to everyone. Yeah, it is really fun. Only thing I miss is sleeping, or more sleep without interruptions, you know. But you probably know what I mean. I'm gonna let Prime run a little bit more here. Yeah, you know.
People want this. People want AI in their browser. And personally, I'm actually kind of afraid of AI browsers. I actually think they're a pretty scary thing. And the reason being is, of course, prompt injection. If you don't know, I've already made a video on it. We've already talked about this at length, but just to give you a quick speed run of the situation, you can get prompt injection from a tweet. You can get prompt injection from a PDF. You could get prompt injection from an image. You could get prompt injection from who knows how many different ways, including 1 pixel font on a website. So that means if you use your browser to access, say, very secure and private things that you don't want shared, it might just get shared. You have no idea. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure Firefox has no idea. I understand that a lot of you think that I'm a bit anti-AI. Oh, I hate old man yell at clouds about AI. It's really fundamentally about trust and Mozilla. And for me, here's another one of those points that are just showing that Mozilla is going to be making a lot of changes, and
I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't really need to have AI built into my browser, I guess. Also, I think I just need to get my hair cut. If I see his one here, his hair, I need to get my hair cut again. But yeah, let's see if I can manage that before Christmas.
honestly don't know where they're going to be in the next 10 years. So here is an article that's citing something from The Verge where the new CEO, Anthony, goes on and...
that reminds me. I've had an idea for a goal this time that may be actually fun. So all the colors are valid for the goal. I'm gonna put it on like... yeah, I'm gonna put it on 1 hour because I will be... will not be on like 2 hours anymore, but more like 1.5, maybe a little bit more, but then it doesn't run out when I'm or it's is able to finish while I'm streaming this goal thing. So I'll try out Helix on the next live stream if this goal is reached. So let's see. There were some people in the comments under my videos that wanted me to try this out. So maybe it's one of you. I don't know. We'll see. So that we just have a goal here. And then I need to still see what else other streamers are doing while streaming to engage here. To engage people here. So
talks about ad blockers. He says the following. He says he could begin to block ad blockers in Firefox and estimates that bringing another $150 million. But he doesn't want to do that. It feels off mission. Now, I know a lot of you are like, oh, okay, well, what's the big deal? He says he doesn't want to do that. It's off mission. The problem I have with that is that it must not have been too far off mission because they know how much money they're potentially losing. Somebody sat down and surfaced it to the C-suite, and they had a discussion and said, okay, we could be making another $150 million. Do we want to do this? And no, collectively, they decided probably that it would hurt the remaining slightly disenfranchised user base. But let's just face it. If money got tight, would they still be singing the same tune? Would they go, ooh, we don't want to do that because that's off basis? Or would they do that? And that's the big problem now with Firefox. I can no longer trust what they do. They have already...
I get the feeling. What browser are you using, Miguel? Or mysterious other person in the chat?
broken a promise to us, the people who deeply cared for them. And so now how am I supposed to buy this statement right here? How do I know you're not going to change your mind on this? How do I know that Firefox isn't just going to become yet another Chrome? All right, I'd rather use Chrome because I know who's spying on me and they're not breaking any promises at this point. All right, they already just piss on my leg and call it rain. But you
in the beginning, Google was like, don't be evil, right? That was their motto in the beginning. Yes, it's not true anymore. So all the companies might change their mind. There's something coming, like Matrix. Is this Keanu in the background? I don't know. Let's see.
They already just piss on my leg and call it rain. But you are supposed to save us. You are supposed to be the one. But now, I just feel like you're betraying us. You know, that's all. That's all, Firefox. Okay, well, hey, Firefox, a little personal story. When I was just getting into web development and I would go and inspect my page, I could use that 3D view and it'd show me that sweet 3D view of my HTML. Honestly, that was just so cool. It made me feel like a hacker. And when I didn't know what I was doing, it really helped me a whole bunch. And I really appreciated you guys. And so I ended up using Firefox for damn near a decade because of that. But more and more, you've fallen behind on performance. More and more, you're eating up memory. More and more, it feels unusable. And now you're breaking privacy promises. And now you're making the browser into an AI machine. Okay, I'm sure Sam Jippity Altman's excited about it. But
so Miguel is using Chrome at work and Firefox on his personal computer. Okay. Yeah, I've been using Brave the last few years, actually. And yeah, at work, it was also Chrome most of the time. Yeah. Tweaking NeoVim is the most important task we all have, right?
I'm not sure.
You can also tweak Vim, by the way. So if you use both, you can tweak Vim and NeoVim. That's great. I do that.
To an AI machine. Okay, I'm sure Sam Jippity Altman's excited about it, but I'm not sure if I am. In fact, I know that I'm not. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did you get this super cool Arch sweater? It's so neat.
That's what I said in the beginning. I don't know if you was already here. I thought he would have something like a shop or something like that here, but maybe it's in Terminal Shop. I don't know. But I thought they would sell only coffee there. Oh, the sweater. I didn't see the link here. I'm so blind sometimes. Let's check it out. Wow, that's so nice. it's really ugly, but it's kind of cool. Maybe I should do also stuff like this. I thought it would be hand knitted or something. Yeah, I use NeoVim actually usually, but for the Advent of Vim series, because I call it Advent of Vim, I just wanted to keep it Vim only, because also some purists commented on some of my other videos where I talked about Vim and was using NeoVim that's not okay. They said. Yeah, and there are some minor differences in some things, but the kind of stuff I'm covering should work in both the same way, because I'm more focused on the fundamental stuff right now.
Well, yeah, I do have it. It's for sale. 50% of all profits, of course, go back to Arch itself. So check it out.
Yeah. So Miguel says, honestly, whatever, I like Lua, so that's what I use NeoVim, or that's why I use NeoVim. I also think Lua is much more elegant or much more usable than VimScript, to be honest. So I still like to use Vim because that's what I learned back then when there was no NeoVim around. But nowadays, also, if I'm on my local machine, I'm just going to use NeoVim. But if I'm like on a server or something where there might not be some NeoVim installation, I still can work quite nice with Vim, because at least some fundamentals, I have some fundamental knowledge of how to use it in a vanilla version here. Yeah, I'm also no expert, right? I'm just a guy sharing some stuff that he knows and forgets again and then learns again. And yeah.
The name is the Primeagen. Hey, is that HTTP? Get that out of here.
Okay,
that's not how we.
Okay, so now he's also promoting his shop, his SSH shop. Did you know about it? Did you already check it out? So you can do SSH terminal.shop. Never been there, at least not in this container. And then you have this terminal interface here, and you can actually, oh no products available for this region. So that's a problem for me. I can't do anything here. So in the US, there's actually stuff you can buy. So you can, yeah, but probably, I don't know if I would buy my coffee there. But it should be quite nice, I think. Like I saw a video where Dax talked about it. It's quite premium stuff, I guess. But yeah, and I just like the idea of this shop in the terminal, actually. So yeah, but no sweater here. And now he's shilling also this shop. Okay, he's gotta make some money, right?
We order coffee via SSH terminal.shop. Yeah, you want a real experience? You want real coffee? You want awesome subscriptions so you never have to remember again? Oh, you want exclusive blends with exclusive coffee and exclusive content? Then check out Cron. You don't know what SSH is? Well, maybe the coffee's not for you.
Terminal coffee.
Nice ad.
In hand, living
and teach. Yeah, they're living the life right here on their yacht. Yacht. How do you say yacht in English? I can't pronounce it. Yacht, I guess. All right, so that was the first video here. I don't know, maybe we can also do something else today, not just watch YouTube. I'm not really open for so many live things, but maybe I thought we could install add and look at add, because I haven't installed it yet and I haven't tried it out yet, but could be interesting. So I'm just gonna install it here. Install, I guess the package is called add. And let's see what this is actually. So did you use add before? So add, what happens if I just type in add? Nothing. That's great. So we have to somehow check out how this works. Probably I can do like an end of file with a Control D to get out of this. Yes, I can. Oh, and I can. Now there's keycasting. Yeah. So does it have something like a help? Yes. Okay. So a line-oriented text editor. It's used to create, display, modify, and otherwise manipulate text files, both interactively and via shell scripts. A restricted version of add read can only edit files in the current directory and cannot execute shell commands. Okay, so add and read. Add is the standard text editor in the sense that it is the original editor for Unix and thus widely available. I had to install it, at least on Fedora, here in the Fedora image. But all right. For most purposes, however, it is superseded by full-screen editors like VI, I guess. And I don't know what came before it. I always get mixed up. X, or is X the ancestor of add, or I don't know. Anyway, let's just see what we can do here. The file name. So add options and then plus line and then file. So that's similar to opening Vim. Add a specific line there, right? Let's scroll a little bit here. Prompt class. Okay. So let's just add some file and see what happens here. So we have these example files I just copied over from Advent of Vim. And let's just add CLI Wonderland. 701. Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. Let's actually also connect a second session here in this thing, and then let's go into testing and let's see what actually is inside this file, CLI Wonderland. I just want to see. So 701, is this maybe the word count or something? I don't know. Yeah, it is. It is actually a word count that it gives me back by default. Okay, cool. So maybe we can do something like man. Well, I want to get out of here. Control D. Let's do a man add. And then we have the manual open and we can use add on the other side here. Oh, I just clicked with my mouse. Showed that I'm a noob again. Let me just quickly change the description of this stream. How can I do that? Can I do that? I don't know. Maybe in OBS. Can I do that in OBS? No. Probably I can, but I don't know how. So then let's just go on, I guess. Stream health is poor again. I don't know what this is. I think it's not bytes, or is it bytes? Like, is it? Yeah, it could also be bytes actually. Um, I forget. I forget what each of the columns here is. Print the byte count. Print new line, word, and byte counts for each file. Okay, so I was wrong. You were right. It's actually bytes. So the second one is number of words, and the third one is number of bytes, and the first is number of lines. You were guessing right. You. So, luckily for me, we didn't bet for something there. All right. So what can we actually do? I want to see like printed the first line or something. If I do +1 and then CLI testing, whoops. CLI Wonderland. It can't tab complete this here. Okay. MD. It's still bytes that I get back. Piece print. Okay, piece print, right? So that there should be like the X commands or something like that. Can I print a second line with 2p? That should be an empty line, yeah. Can I do ranges with like 1, 2p? Ah, okay, now we're getting there, I guess. The lag is funny. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw that my stream health is really poor. I don't know why, because it was excellent in the beginning. Probably my video resolution is not supported or something, but it always worked. So I'm not sure. Oh, all right. Yeah. I don't know. So maybe this drifted off or something, or my brain lag is so is so high. Maybe that could also be. Okay. Good. Okay, then we have these X commands that seem to work. So if I wanted to delete the first line, probably let's try that. If we can delete line 1, like 1 D for delete, I guess. At least that's the one we can use in the global command, right? So it's one X command, I guess. So let's try. And now let's do P again. So P without a range or something should print the first line again, I guess. And the first line is probably gone. So I'm gonna do a Control D now and just do it again so that we can leave this and cat out this file, and probably the first line is gone, I hope. No, it's not. Why it's not? It's not gone. Okay, maybe we didn't write. Maybe we have to write it also. So let's open this up again at line 1. I don't know, this doesn't seem to do anything. Like if I Yeah, absolutely. It's so intuitive, that's why, I guess. So we should have if Cheap Home Tag was here, I think he said he's been using ad like 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I don't know what he said, but something like that. He could help us now. But yeah, it's fun to try out new stuff, right? So let's print the first line again. Good. Okay, let's delete. If I just delete just the first line, I hope. Whoops. 1, 2. Let's print the first 5 lines here. Yeah, so it's not here anymore. Let's do a write. I guess write should write the file, I hope. Yeah, now we get 675 bytes, so that's less than 701. I guess now we've written this file. So let's quit ad. Oh, now I also quit my connection there. Let's go back into testing. And cat CLI Wonderland again. Okay, yeah. So that's how it works. You can print out ranges. You can do stuff to ranges. And maybe we can also see Why didn't this work? Maybe we can also see some of the commands here, something like that. This also with, if the file begins with an exclamation mark, it's like reading an output of a shell command. That's also like Vim. Yes. All right. So how to configure add to have an LSP integrated, and maybe also like let's also do like an AI integration, because everything needs to have AI, right? So add AI to add AI to add. Okay, so is this all there is here? There's not much of like what we could do here. Actually, no command description, right? Is there another manual that they're pointing to or something? Info add. Full add documentation is maintained as a text info manual. So info add. I don't know if I can do info. I never used info. Oops, info, not info. There's no info in my system. Let's see if we can install info. Let's just try. It's just a container. What could go wrong? Okay, info add. Okay. This seems like a little bit more documentation here. But then let's just read this a little bit, and I'm gonna just zoom in on this video. Not on this video. I'm just talking too much about videos in the last time. Yeah. Add plus Claude. Software engineering is dead. Marco guaranteed. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, so now we're talking. Here's line addressing, invoking add, argument syntax, commands. Let's see how this info thing here works. Can I do something like enter? Yeah, I can jump to this information here. That's great. All add commands are single characters, though some require additional parameters. The command's parameters extend over several lines. Then each line except for the last must be terminated with a backslash. Okay. In general, at most, one command is allowed per line. However, most commands accept a print suffix, which is any of P for print, L for list, or N for enumerate. Okay, so let's try what the difference between print and L or N is. So let's go back to the, whoops, that was the wrong thing again. Let's go back here and do like add. Let's do it without the +1. I don't know what it does. So, and let's do P again. Happy holidays to all, and to all a good night. Okay. Is this the last line? Okay, now I'm. Why does this print something else now? Okay, let's cat this file again. Happy holidays to all, and to all a good night. Okay, so if you don't specify the +1, you get to the end of the file, I guess. So if you just open it without this +1, you don't go to line 1, but you add to the end of the line. So that's nice to know. Cool. I hate searching my history like that, but I just did. So printing now does nothing. Yeah. And listing now does, oh, it does something else. And N is enumerate 1. Okay, maybe we should go to another line. Can I do the plus in here to jump to another line, like +2? Yeah, now we're at line 2, I guess. We print it again. Yes. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. I think I'm gonna change my workflow to use add full time. That's great, right? So, but you can imagine if you just had like one line that you could see? Or is this in a time where you don't even have like a monitor on your system and just have to print out everything on a printer, on a real printer, to see what you're editing? Could be. I'm not sure, but I can imagine that it could be that old. Okay, so now let's do an N again. Oh, an L again. And what does this do? It lists, probably it lists like special characters like these end of line characters. Could this be? And N is enumerate. Okay, so why is this now? Does it just say this is line 3 where we're at, and that's why the 3 is in front of that? Let's go. If I do plus 1 again, I was not at line 2, but at line 3 probably, because I just added 2. Could this be? So let's do a plus 1 again, and let's see if we enumerate, get a 4. Oh, I guess I'm understanding this. I was moving? What do you mean? I was kind of moving there. This is a private tutorial session between me and you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess I am. So what other program? No. Let's try list again. There's like, and I want to edit this line actually. Can I do something like E or something like that? Let me check in the commands. There's something else here. Oh, I can't scroll with Control D inside this info thingy. So do I get something like a question mark to get what that's searching? Yeah, okay, then let's just use the page up and page down things to scroll. E, E, F, R, and W commands take an optional file parameter. Control F goes one character by one character. Control B goes back one. Okay. Control E goes to the end of the line. So these are like Emacs bindings. With Control A goes back to the beginning of the line. Yeah, I know some Emacs stuff. Like it's the default thing in yeah. I've never used it, but it's the default stuff that also works in shells, right? Oops. And also in, I guess here, like in the macOS things, you can also do Control E to go to the end, Control A to go to the beginning. Yeah. I also don't know how to scroll in Emacs actually, so never had the need to do that. But all right, I can also use the arrow keys, or just Control E or something like that. No, Control E. I was in Vim already again to scroll. Control E and Control Y, but yeah. Okay, so I want to actually, we can append stuff. Appends text to the buffer after the addressed line. Okay, so if I do, that's the command, yeah? Let's make this a little bit, yeah, now it's better readable, I guess. Appends text to the buffer after the addressed line, the address 0 is valid for this command. Places the entered text at the beginning of the buffer. Text is entered in input mode. Current address is set to the address of the last line entered, or if there were none, to the addressed line. So, okay, let's just try trial and error this. So this is the line here. Now if I do like this, some text, maybe like this, and then .a, this is the whole command. Then there's like a question mark, why? Oh, or is this the range you give it into in the parentheses, and the dot is, oh, I misspelled, by the way. I put a dot after that. Okay, let's print again. Does this work? So the question mark is saying, I don't know what you want to do here, I guess. So let's do this. Okay, this also doesn't work. Should we actually quote this? I don't know. I'm probably too stupid for this right now, but I'm just gonna copy the command exactly like this. And now without the okay, maybe I'm not getting this completely. Let's maybe make this a little bit bigger like this. You mean just the A? Like dot A? But what's the text that we want to enter? Or okay, like I'm just gonna do A and see what happens here. And now I'm gonna put something in like so maybe just these parentheses are optional things, right? Oh yeah. Commands are shown together with the default address or address range supplied if none is specified in parentheses. Okay, so the dot is the current line also in Vim. So if I just press A, then now I can probably say this gets added to the end. And let's add a tab here because I want to see if we can see this somehow. And an exclamation mark, and let's see what happens. Now let's print the line again. Doesn't seem to work. List again. Or do I have to somehow? Oh no! Every command had to be somehow terminated, right? Was there something like if a command's parameters extend over several lines, then each line except for the last must be terminated with a backslash? No. Okay, so I didn't terminate, so the command actually should have worked. Maybe we're on the wrong line then again. Can I go -1 and print? Okay, I'm just gonna write and see what happened here. No, I'm still in this. I'm still in the command, right? So let's do the backslash here. Can I do Control C to disrupt the command? Print now. Now we have just the backslash. Escape. Nope. Okay. So now we can print, and now we have the backslash. So maybe it actually put in all these commands here, all these things. So let's do -4 print -1. Yeah. So this should work. So if I do -6, then there should be a P, I guess. If I do -7, then we should get the actual line we did there. Minus, what did I say? 4, 5, 6, 7. -7. Okay, I'm totally lost. I'm gonna write this now again. Now we have more bytes, and now I'm gonna exit this, and now I'm gonna just look at the file again. What did I do? Yeah, we did write this. So we did write this in here after one line wherever we were here before. But I thought it would be added to the end of the line we were on before, but maybe I just messed up too much with all the other commands I just did in there. I just did Control C. Let's try this again. So add +1 CLI Wonderland, and now I'm just gonna do A to add. We should be in line 1, right? Because we had this +1. Now I'm gonna do a space just to start this. Is this added to the first line? Gonna hit enter. Then I'm gonna do Control C. And now we've got a question mark again. Maybe this is also not an, oh, I don't know what you meant, but like a, okay, please enter something. I don't know. Let's do P. Yes, is this added to the first line? Is at least the last thing that is here. Let's do 110. So this should print the first 10 lines, right? Added to the first line. Yeah, it's actually prepended to the first line, right? Or no, the first line was empty in this because we deleted the... Yeah, so it was added to the first line, but it was an empty line. So it was also not a very good example, I guess. Oh, man. So do you find this interesting? Just let me know. Not that I'm just wasting your time here. I actually like to poke around and stuff like that to get a feel for it. But yeah, it kind of worked, but I'm still too confused with that. So let's. I'm gonna Vim this. CLI Wonderland it was, yeah. And let's just see the line numbers right now. So in the first line, oh, I didn't write it. Okay. Let's do something else. Let's do like blah.text, and then we do first line, just for me to get around there. Second line, maybe, yeah, like this. I was thinking if I could automate this a little bit better, but yeah, we can like do. This is the third line, I would say, and then let's just duplicate this a bunch of times, and then let's do some Control V magic and do a G Control A. Now we did some magic. Woo! Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Thanks for being here, Miguel. It was fun. It was fun not being alone here, at least. I don't know. Maybe we should do something like not only live streaming. If we're still this few people, maybe we should do something like a Zoom call or something. Yeah, happy holidays to you too. Have a nice few holidays with your family, and yeah, maybe we'll do that sometime in the future. Yeah, that sounds cool. Thank you. Thanks for being here, and maybe see you next week. Oh, I don't know. Next week is Christmas Eve, 24th, right? Then probably I won't be here. I guess there also wouldn't be many viewers there. I'm so bad with calendars. Yeah, it's actually the 24th, and in Germany that's the day. Like yeah. Maybe next Friday. Let's see. Thanks, Miguel. I have to post some kind of schedule or something that we can plan for that. Maybe also a few more people will show up then. But yeah. I'll be trying out add a little bit more, and I guess yeah, like if nobody else comes in about half an hour, I'm gonna edit the video for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna get some sleep. All right. So we write this. So we have the first line. Oh, and I messed up. Let's do it like this. And then quit. And then add blah text. +1. So if I print now, I'm at the first line. Okay, and let's add something here. Add it in front of the first line, probably. I guess. Is this line 0 now? Escape, print. 1 to, or what happens if I do 0 to 2? Print. Nothing. Okay. First line is this line 0 now? No, it appends it actually. So enumerate. I'm on line 2. So okay, I'm on line 2. So let's see what else we can do. So it adds an actual line, but what if I want to just edit the current line? That's the thing I want to do actually. Can I search here? Yes, I can search in this info thing, edits file. No, it's not what I want to do actually. Substitute command. The substitute command replaces text and the address line matching. So this is just a substitute, but what if I just want to add something to the end of the line or join two lines together? I don't know. Maybe we should watch an add tutorial actually before trying to do this ourselves. Okay. So if anyone in the chat knows how to use add, please help. How can I edit a line? Is it really the way that I have to delete the line and add the line after that or something? It will be weird. Maybe that's the thing we did here, or did back then. So let's print the first two lines again. So we have the first line, and let's go to line 2. If I just press enter, am I on this line now? Print it again. Yes, I am. I go to 1. This is the first line. I am on this line. Okay. Okay, then let's go to line 2 and let's delete the line. And now if I print 1, 2, 5, there's not this line 0 anymore. Okay. So that's nice. But yeah, I'm gonna look at the commands again here and see what else we can do. Why am I in problems? What? Yeah, I don't know how this info thing works. Let's try it again. So we have the argument in there, syntax. Start with a hyphen. But let's just read the introduction here first, so maybe we can actually know what we're doing here. So, introduction to line editing. Add was created along with a Unix operating system by Ken Thompson. QAdd. Unix shell and the Unix file system is recommended. Okay, that's what we have here, a little bit at least. Difference between line editors and display editors is that display editors provide instant feedback to user commands, whereas line editors require sometimes lengthy input before any effects are seen. I'm starting to get what they say here. Advantage of instant feedback, of course, is that if a mistake is made, it can be corrected immediately before more damage is done. It requires more strategy and forethought. But if you are up to the task, it can be quite efficient. With a shell, So when you speak of entering a command or some text in add, return is implied at the end of each line. Enters a line of input. Okay. Prior to typing return, corrections to the line may be made by typing backspace. Okay, you can edit the command you're actually putting in. Or control U for undo, so control key and U to erase the whole line. This is also like just in a basic shell, right? Let's just jump here. Control U just deletes the complete line. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense if Ken Thompson programmed this here. So when add first opens, it expects to be told what to do, but doesn't prompt us like the shell. So let's begin by telling add to do so with the P prompt command. That's cool. So if we do a capital P, we get a prompt in add. So let's try that. If I now do a capital P, yeah, now I have a prompt. Wow. But what says the asterisk to me? Can run Unix shell commands inside add by prefixing them with an exclamation mark, just like in Vim. No, it's the last pane, not the last window. What did I say? So if I do like a date, then we get back a date here. We also write this now. If I print it now, we're on line 5. No, let's do the, how many lines do we have? Like 10 lines? I don't know. No, it's not actually. But yeah, with the prompt thingy, that's at least a little bit more visual where I actually typed in commands. So I like to have the prompt in add. Man, I'm gonna do an add tutorial if I get the hang of this. Yes, for sure. And hello to the one lonely soul that watches this. Hello there. Great to have you here. So the title of the stream is actually not really valid anymore because I don't watch anything. I'm just trying out add here. Hey, someone who talks to me, right? Cool. Hey Darius, welcome. I'm just messing around with add here. I don't know how long you've been here. Yeah. We're let me show you. Let me quit add here with Control D and Control D again. So we're using add like the line editor here. That's a predecessor of Vim. And I never used it before, and I just thought maybe instead of just watching some YouTube videos together today, so there was someone else here and we just chatted. I just try this out and embarrass myself by showing how I don't know anything about this, and yeah, I'm just wildly poking at add, and I just learned about like the info command. I had to install like info is because if you do man add, so I installed add at first, and add help doesn't really give you much to go on. Then I thought I'd look at a manual page, and there's also not much here, but you can see in the beginning here, or where did it? Here in the end. See also the full documentation for add is maintained as a text info manual. That's probably quite an old format. Yeah, 1994. That's new, I guess. I don't know when it was the original editor for Unix, so it should be like released in, when was it, 1969? We can let's just check this. Add editor wiki. Initial release 1973. So this is some old software here. Oh, that's probably maybe a little bit too small. Oh, it's bright. I have the thing here, the monitor on max brightness because of the light I have here that you can see me. But this is in light mode, it's really bright. Yes. So let's go back to the terminal here. And yeah, as I said, like in the manual page, there's also not much to go at. And then I had to install this info thingy and info add. And yeah, I'm just going through this and see if I can work this. So we have this. Let me show you. We have a few files here in here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And yeah, I tried to edit the CLI Wonderland thing here. Let's open it with Vim so that we can just see it. And that's what I did to it here, like these few lines here. So I managed to write something. Not what I wanted, but yes. I can give you a short overview of what I already know if you want to. So let's quit Vim again, and I created another file here, the blah text, so that I can actually see something or can understand something more when I edit this. Yes, you edit it line by line. So I do an add and then the file name, and now you get an 88. Guess what that is? That's actually the number of bytes in this file. So that was a mystery as well in the beginning, but I thought it was the number of words maybe. But then I did a word count for the file, and the first one is like number of lines, the second one is number of words, and the third one is number of bytes. So that's the same. Yeah, it's cool. It's like some arcane magic, this editor, I guess. So by default, if you just give it the file name, you get this, and then you can enter commands, like just like you can enter them in Vim, like in the command mode, or with the norm command or the global command. You can use P for printing, so you can see on which line you are actually, or you can see the line you are on, and that's why I printed 11 line in this file so that I can see this a little bit more. If you do an L, it lists some more characters on this line, like the end of the line character there. And if you do N, which stands for enumerate, I guess, it tells you actually the line number and the line you're on. And you can jump to another line. To make this a little bit less confusing, you can print a capital P, and it will give you this asterisk as your prompt line, so you can see where you actually entered commands here. So if I now press P again, you can see this asterisk stays here, and then we see that that's actually a command I just entered here. So that's what I found out. You can change the position in the file if you just print the line number. So 1 goes to the first line. If I now print, it prints the first line. Great, right? You can also jump to another line by adding a number for that. So if I press +2, I'm gonna end up on the third line, and it prints it out for me for convenience, so that I see what's in this line. I can now add something. So if I press A, this adds after this line. I thought it would add to the end of the line, but it actually adds a line after this line. So what I print now, what I'm going to do now is this comes after line 3. And okay, I can't go back with the arrow keys. Line 3, and if I press enter now, I can also add another line. So, and even after that, there's a new line. I can type a new line. Now if I press Control C, I'm gonna quit out of this command. And if I print like line, let's include line 3 again, you can give it a range before the command. So 3 to, I don't know, 10 and print. Then I get can print out the first or the line 3s to 10. So you see we added like these 2 lines here. And now we've changed this. Yeah, it is. I guess it was back in the days. Yeah, the range thing is also like this also is in Vim. So you can do stuff with ranges in Vim too, right? So for example, let's just create another window here and I'm gonna just SSH into this container again. Let's go into testing and just Vim, CLI Wonderland, whatever. I can like run commands on ranges too, right? So if I do like from 1 to 10, I could like delete these lines. Also, like the same thing. Okay, I can also print, right? Can I print? Let's try this. Yeah, it's actually the exact same thing. I just get printed out these 10 lines here, just like add. So the add things still work in Vim, mostly, I guess. I don't know if there are some exceptions, but yeah, we could also like delete this, right? And now these lines have been deleted. Let's undo this. Yeah. Then good question is, okay, I'm trying to read this stuff a little bit more that is in the chat. So for people to watch this, for people watching this after the fact here and maybe not having chat open, Darius, yeah, I'm just gonna say Darius because like Darius Popper 2325 doesn't roll off the tongue so good right now. Nah, I still suck at Vim. I've managed to get relatively fast with it editing Markdown files, but coding seems like a whole different world. Yeah, but it's a good start if you just do it with Markdown files. Like you're practicing the stuff and then you can add to it if you want to. Dari. Okay, I'll do a Dari. Dari sounds cool. Yeah. Now I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, but yeah, it's great that you do this. And I'm still not ready for. Let's go back to the first window here. I'm still not ready for using add productively. Not yet, anyways. So let's. No, not sorry. Hi, Max. If you're like from Germany, I don't know. So Max Kuzensky says hi. I hope I didn't butcher this name too much. So we're trying out add here for everyone new that joined here. And yeah, it's also my first time. We're still in Tmax copy mode. That's why I can move around like this right now. So I'm gonna leave copy mode again. If I press Control L, does this also redraw this thing to the top inside add? I will try this. No, it doesn't. Okay. All file with P. No, I didn't know that. I just wanted to try, because we just switched to Vim, I wanted to try using the percentage sign and wanted to see if this also works, like a complete range. Yeah, it does actually. Okay. And this also works, what you said. Cool. Also, you're experienced with add. That's great. Someone who knows what he's doing here. That's great. So maybe you can give us some more pointers. I have a question. Like, if I just wanted to add something to the end of a line, how would I do that? I know about the add command, the A command, but this adds a whole new line, right? After the line. So if I'm on, I know about n, so I'm on line 13 here, even though it says 11, but we added some lines here. So this was actually in the file, the 11 written in this line, but this is the actual line number, right? If I wanted to add something to the end of this line, how would I do this without using, you could use substitute, I guess, and just substitute everything. So this should work, I guess. So if I would do something like this, this is added to the end, I guess. Yeah, let's try this. And yeah, this worked. But does this work if I just, does it work more easier, like a little bit easier, like just add to the end of the line? Is there some command for that? So I thought you were a professional add person. The whole buffer to my clipboard. Currently it won't work because I'm just in a container here and I haven't connected this to the clipboard, and I'm in add actually, so this also wouldn't work. But yeah, let's go here in Vim. I would actually just do something like I would target the plus clipboard, but it's not available, as you can see here. So let's just say the A register would be the plus register. I would just do like a target A and then yank. No, ha! You got me there. So you could do the visual selection first, right? So target A, I mistyped, I guess. Target A, visually select, like go to the top of the file, then yeah, it's not great. It's not great actually. I didn't use this that often, but probably can you yank like the percentage sign? Yeah, you can probably, right? How would you do it, Mr. It? How would you do it? Just gonna look a little bit at the baby phone right now because the little one is moving. It seems to keep sleeping. Okay, yeah. So you could, of course, do jump to the top of the file and then target the directory, the plus thing, and then yank to the end of the file, right? That would be one way that I can think of right now. But there probably are better ways to do that. Or you do something like a mapping for that. If you have a use case, if your use case is to do that often, I think. Right. So it's sometimes irritating because on the left side here there's OBS and I can see my shared screen there. And if I change something there and then with some lag, I see that something happens there. I think the chat is saying something. Okay, so if you don't know, Max, how to do that, we will just find out, right? I'm gonna try to use this info thingy. Substitute command. Okay, yeah, but if I'm actually at the start of the file with GG, then I don't use visual. I'm just gonna use the yank command because you can of course use visual, right, to go to the end of the file and then yank, but you can also do like yank and go to the end of the file. So you yank this completely without going into visual, but you can do both, of course. Yeah, I'm just I'm just gonna look if I can find something to better. Oh yeah, probably maybe if I just had read like one command further, like C says changes lines in the buffer. Oh, but they are completely deleted. Okay, so that's also not what I wanted to. So it's actually just the same commands as you do in Vim, as far as I can see. It's some file. So here we have range and global command works also here. Yeah. Yeah, I guess unfortunately I don't know where the lag is, but I think I can the lag between chat and me getting to see what chat says is somehow a little bit laggy today. My stream health also says poor. So probably something with my connection here. Yeah. So sorry if I'm answering a little bit late. Yeah, I'm just gonna go on here. Prints a help message explaining the reason for the most recent question mark. That's great. That's great. Interrupt. So if I do an A to add something, yeah, like a new line, and then interrupt with Control C, then that's the reason for the, yeah, okay. Is there a better way to terminate this? Okay, then it's all right. You don't notice anything here. Oh, Max is gone, I guess. Or Darius, I don't know. Other people are gone. Quite a fluctuation here. Probably it's not the most amusing thing to watch right now, but I'm just gonna try it out here. Toggles the printing of help messages. Okay, so if I do a capital H, then okay, Dari. You've moved your tablet from the kitchen. That's great. All right. I'm not gonna be here for that much longer, so maybe 30 minutes. And I'm gonna restart my goal I did here. Like, why can I say 2 super chats? I'm gonna do it with 1 super chat and give it 30 minutes and start this goal. So if I get 1 more super chat this stream, yeah, my target is not that high. I will try out Helix next time we're gonna stream here. I've never used Helix before. So maybe like doing sometimes I'm gonna just watch YouTube again, but sometimes I'm just gonna try out stuff I didn't try out before. That's what I'm thinking right now. Ah, I see. That's great, Darius. So what are you writing on? Do you also have like a fancy keyboard with some fancy layout or something like that? Like Ngram or something really cool? Or are you just a fast writer on QWERTY on a standard keyboard? Yeah. Okay, just one moment. So you're saying you ain't buying a keyboard for $200 or whatever, and then you have a Logitech MX Mini. How much did that cost? It's not that far off, right? Or is it? Okay. Yeah. Then maybe you can buy 2, and then you have like 1 on the left and 1 on the right, and then you also have like a split keyboard. Something like that. Could also work if you like manually change the layout or something. Yeah, I got into this split keyboard thing because of like pain in the shoulder and in the fingers, and yeah. And it helped. All right. Yeah, okay. But there are cheaper options. Or if you build it yourself, I guess you can do it really cheap. Like if you do some I actually ate before the stream and I got some food on my keyboard. Don't eat in front of the PC. Okay, that's not good. Oh, now I realize maybe the placement of my camera is not the best right now. Can I do it even smaller? See if I can. Still a noob at streaming, so maybe something like that. Is that better? I hope so. A little bit smaller, and then we can actually see, because I'm working on the right side more this time. Okay, inserts text in the buffer before the addressed line. So I is before the line. Joins the addressed lines. So we could do something like we add a line. So if we just wanted to add something to a line, like new line. Is this actually what I -2 to +2? Can I do this as a range? If I can type. No, I can't. Okay. So let's print the whole file again. So new line is the line at the end. So I could join. Yeah, it's line 14. I could join the 2 lines. So if I added something like another new line with, can I give it an argument right away, by the way? Probably not. No suffix allowed. So add another line here, and then interrupt this. Let's print the whole thing again. And now I'm on another line here. So if I go, can I do ranges? Yeah, I can do ranges. Joins the addressed lines, replacing them in a single line containing their joint text. So can I do something like, if I go 1 line back, at least that will work. So this +1 should join the next 2 lines if I join this, right? So let's print this. Oh, I messed up. Oh no. Yeah, that's I'm getting so many good ideas from you. So Dari said, do we have like a target for this? Are we writing a story or something? Not really, but we could. Why not? Let's write a story. Let's go out of this here. And let's create a new story. Can I just give it a new story as a file name if it's not already existing? No such file and directory. Okay, can I write this? 0. Okay, let's add 1 line here, like A, and then let's do, this is the start of our story here. Our story here. We can decide what it's all about later, I guess. Now Control C to get out of this command to interrupt this. Now I'm going to write this again, and we have 37 bytes now. So something might have happened here. But let's just quit here. Can I quit with Q? Yes, I can. And let's see if there's like new story text. Okay, there's a new story text. So let's cat this. Yes, okay. So we started a new story here. So let's add the new story again. And we are at the end of this file already because we didn't provide add with a line number with a plus. So we could add the next line here. So this is the story of a guy not knowing, or let's do it a little bit like AI. I can't do an emphasis dash, but I'm just gonna do a dash here. Like this is the story of a guy who doesn't know anything about ad, who wants to learn it while writing a great story. Let's write this file. Oh no, I have to escape out of this. Then I write this file. Now we have this. 3 paragraphs. Yeah, we can also do Markdown. So I'm gonna quit here, and then I'm just gonna move new story to new story Markdown. Let's do this, and then let's do add new story again. Like this time it's an MD. Let's print out the file. We have this like here. So if we go to line 1, or let's enable the prompt again. I find this more, I can see more of this. Okay, let's do this and go to the first line. And now we insert before this line. We can do this with an I. Then we can do a heading. So how should our story be called? What should be the heading here? I'm looking at you, Dari, because it was your idea. But anyone else, like we are 3 people here, not including me, can also chime in. You say chime in, I guess. That's the name of our story. Okay. So failing miserably at typing a sentence. Speedrun 100. Okay. Do this and write this. So if we now print out this file, we have a heading. We are on line 3. Let's go to line 1 again, and then let's just add like a white space. So add this. This should have worked, I hope. No. Okay, so where are we at? Where are we at again? We're at line 3 again. Why? Because we printed everything. Maybe that's why. Yeah, I would. I actually would add it, but I don't actually know how to do it. Like a new line. Maybe we can do something like, so now we are at line 1 again. We can maybe add and then do something like this. Or something like this. So as it's like the Unix editor, I don't think it is. So maybe if you have WSL, you can install it there, but Or you can, do you have some kind of way to like Dockerize something or run a container somewhere? Like this is also just running a Fedora container inside a Fedora 43 container here. Running Docker, or any kind of container thingy. Oh, okay. It just froze. Maybe it didn't. Maybe you thought it just froze. Yeah, because there's no output if you don't give it anything, I guess. So you're probably inside add now. So that's a real trick. Yeah, you can, like, if you want to add a line, you press. I would encourage you to do like a capital P and hit enter, and then you should get like this asterisk prompt. Then you should see that that you can do something. Like all the lines. Yes, okay. You're in. So then you can do all these kind of commands. Yeah, you're hacking the mainframe. That's great. Yeah, let's add a line like with the A. I'm just gonna try if this worked here, by the way. So let's print this out again. No, it's just like \n is not the new line I can enter here. So how to add empty lines would be the next thing to learn, I guess. Yeah, you can add lines with the A. You can, after the line you are currently on, you can print the current line you're currently on. You should, I guess, with F or something like that. Let me see if I can find it again. Or you can use E file to edit the file, just like in Vim, actually. You could create a new file. Qquits. Yeah. Yeah. Don't spoil the ending of my Advent of Vim series, please. I spoiled it. Yeah. Let's try if I can write it to another file here. Yeah, the man page is not that great. Oh, I guess. I just have to. I'm not sure. No, he seems to be sleeping. Okay. Yeah. Let's write a new file. Let's new file. So if you do E, you can use like the name of the file, new name MD. Now if you, or maybe not, let's press H to see the error message. Oh, warning, buffer modified. That's what it comes from here. Let's just first write the buffer here, and then let's do the, oh, I can't go back in history here. Let's just E new name again. No such file and directory. Yes. Can I write it now? Yes. So if you're already inside add, and you didn't do anything, you can use the E command with the file name, and then you can write it, and then you create a new file. Let's try that there, Dari. And then we can add new lines. So we have yet another new file here. But I can also go back to, I can tab complete, of course. What was the name of the file here? Was it new story MD? Yes, it was. So I'm back in the original file. So adding a line. Really? We could like let's ask AI about it. How can I add a new line new empty just can't type line in add. Please be smart. This is too big, sorry. Just gonna do it like that. Append or insert commands, yeah, followed by just pressing enter on an empty line. Then dot to end input mode. Okay, I didn't do that. And dot becomes the new line. Okay, let's just try this. So I'm gonna do, oops, wrong pane. Gonna make this bigger again. So add and then dot, and let's print. Print the whole thing again. That's not really a new line here. That's not really a new line. Yeah, why not? IBM is like, it's from the Stone Ages. They should know something like that, right? That's not an empty line, or it should. I'm gonna try this again with A. Then I'm gonna hit enter and then a dot. That should work. Probably I misread that or didn't understand the thing completely. Yeah, that works actually, and that's also better than control C'ing out of the command. So dot, putting out a dot as the last thing, that should work. So let's go back to the first line here, and then we're gonna add a new line and then a dot, and let's print the thing again. So now we have this. Let's go to the third line then, and then let's delete this because we didn't want to have that, right? And then let's write this. And yeah, print this thing again. Yeah, I guess we're getting there, right? Oh, doing the wrong thing. Yeah, we're getting here. I think you can also only do like the complete line. I don't know if you can jump to a position in the line. Like in Vim, you can do that with the pipe operator, right? So if I'm going to Vim here, and I want to jump into like column 8 or something, I can do 8 and then pipe. You can try that. Maybe it works. So print, but actually you're just printing out the lines and then you're running commands. I don't think you can do something like that, but let's see. Let's go to line 3. Print this. Let's try 3 and then the pipe. What happens? Question mark. If you now press H, we can see what the actual error is. Unknown command. Okay, I guess this won't work then. But I guess you're not really in any point in time in a certain position in the line, but you just do commands that change the whole line or add the whole line or something like that. Yeah. Okay. But what else can we do here? So what else should we do in the story? T transfers address lines to the right-hand destination address. So you can move lines. What else can you do here? WQ also exists. Or you can also just write a few lines to the file, not all the lines. That's cool. cn scroll prints n lines at a time starting at addressed line and sets window size to n. If n is not specified, the window size is used. Let's do z3. What does this mean? Okay. Now if I print z5, no. I don't understand that. Good. I'm feeling better then. Okay, so we can cancel comment. New line is ignored. Prints the line number of the addressed line. The current address is unchanged. Okay, there are many things here you can do. So V also is the same as in Vim, like the what's it called? Like the anti-G command. Anti-G command. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what it is, I guess. You override lines. So you can add lines, you can insert lines. So insert before this line, add after the line, or you can also change it with C, but then you have to type in the whole complete line again, right? So so if we are on line 5 here, if we go to line 1 here again, or like let's go to line 3, and if you want to change this to something else, you can do change, and then you can say this is the new line with the change. Enter, and then the dot and the ends this, as far as I know now, or understand now. Yes, and this is the new line with the change. That's the way you change lines, so you just completely rewrite them. Yeah. Yeah, but you can do almost everything here like this. We could use the global command to do a G, and then we can find like search for a pattern and then delete all the lines. So all the lines where this is a pattern, we can print them, for example, or we can I can't go back in history, or we can like delete them, for example, or move them. Probably, I don't know if the move thing here works. Like move 0, can I move them all to the top like I could do in Vim? Yes, I can, I guess. Yeah, this works. You can also move it. Yeah, actually, yes. So I guess you can do everything you need to with this, but it's not that comfortable, right? Or maybe if you're like really good at this, then you can also be like fluent in this. Like another one of the viewers of this channel, like Cheap Home Tech, he said that he worked with this back in the days. So it would have been great if he was here today, so that he could have guided us a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, it is. So this feels a little bit more like sed. I don't know. Do you know sed? HTML was like the first HTML is like when the web was born. Should be like 94, I think. When was HTML born? I think 94, like the first version of something of that, or 91. Tim Berners-Lee, History of HTML, invented it in 1991. So that's the father of the web. We could do that. Should we? Should we do something like that? Like we could do like a very simple thing here. So let's write the file. So we messed it up, and now we can switch to another file. Let's call it Dari HTML. No such file, but we're gonna write it. So now we have this file. Yeah, let's do some. Yeah, let's just insert it here. Like we can insert the whole thing here, right? Like HTML, and then we have like a head. And I won't do any indentation stuff or something like that. We can have a title in here, like Dari Rocks. Title. Let's close the head. That's all we need. We don't need CSS for this. Then let's do the body. And let's do like an H1. Dari Rocks. Let's do it like in title case this time. H1, and then I don't know, like you could do that back then, like if you want to write more than one line, why not? And then you have to edit it if you make some mistake, which I will probably make some here. Let's do a p tag, like this is the story of Dari, who wanted to be the first person to program, or to write HTML in Ed for the rest of his life professionally. That sounds like a good thing. And yeah, it's a very basic HTML page, but it should work, I hope. Let's do the dot to get out of here. Let's write this. And yeah, let's see. Since we're in the terminal here, I don't know, is there something like links or something? What's a good terminal browser? Is this still a thing? I don't know, like links. How did I call this? Dari HTML here. So here we have our first HTML page here, and oh, it doesn't re-render that. Let's quit and let's open it again. Ta-da! Oh, I did, but it renders anyway. But you're right, I did. So we could edit it with add. Let's see, this is the last line, so let's just add HTML and write this and quit. Oh no, I messed up. I messed up again. I messed up the command. Let's do the P thing again. So let's where am I? Like in this, let's delete the line. No, I'm the line before. Let's delete the line and let's write. This should be it. Yes. Okay, then links this again here. Woohoo! Yeah, you woohooed the same time I said woohoo in my head here. Yeah, cool. And I also didn't spell his right, and I also professionally I don't know if it's spelled correctly. Yeah, it's heaven. Like, can I go to something here? Like, how does Google look in this nowadays? So, do I want to accept this cookie? Never. Never. What is happening here? Use arrow keys to move. Browser actualization. Okay, like Google doesn't really work anymore here. Then let's quit. Yeah, I want to quit. Yeah, okay. Let's rewrite everything. No, we won't. We are gonna do it a little bit more professional. It is. Yeah, it's like I'm German. Let's do the capital P, and let's print this. And now we just gonna go to. Can I search for this? Can I search stuff like here? Yeah, am I on this line now? That's the question. Am I on this line now? I'm gonna print it out again. I am on this line now, and now we won't rewrite everything. We'll do like the substitute command here to his, and that's it. Now we fixed it. You gave up? Oh, German is, I don't know, it's not the easiest language, I guess. Yeah, that's it. You have to learn your tools. So you have to learn Add if you want to use it professionally for the rest of your life. So do that. Do learn that. And I could also like do substitute like the closing P tag. Oh no, then we should use like another delimiter here. Like the closing P tag with I could. This also should work already. With a dot closing P tag. And yeah, now we have the dot at the end of the thing here. You can do that. It actually said that you use the editor for that. You can use the editor for that. Let's see, can I go to Node? I just can't navigate in this here. Let's do info again. Overview. I think it said something like that. It's used to create, display, modify, and otherwise manipulate text files, both interactively via shell or scripts. So you can use it in scripts. But there's a more suited tool for that, and that's called sed, I guess. So you use this, actually, this is a stream editor for filtering and transforming text. And you would probably use this in your scripts. I can actually I can go into my dot files here. And I should have like in scripts or something. Do I have the scripts here? Where did I put it? I forgot where I put this script stuff. But it isn't it here? Or it's maybe in Playground. I don't know. In Playground. Can type. No, I don't have it here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna show it on my actual machine here. So I have this toggle recording settings script. So it should be in my dot files. I don't know why I didn't see it. It should be like I'm gonna use NVIM for this now. Toggle recording settings, and here you can see I actually use set for something like that. So I run the script here before I start recording so that it changes some configuration stuff in some config files actually with this. So that's one of the use cases you can use this for. And also you can use the same commands like the substitute command. So it's very similar to add, I guess, if you use this. And yeah, also change like something like on the top right here that I don't have. Like I can actually do this right now. Toggle recording settings, and you see, this just changes. I also have now the clock here in my sketchy bar, and like a bunch of stuff changes. Yeah. It is. And for that, it's actually really useful. So I don't have to manually do something like that or copy files over something. If you just want to change some small settings for that, yeah, you could also do it some other way, like I do with my Starship config. I just use a completely different config for the for my prompt. But yeah, set is really powerful, I guess. All right. So the problem is it's actually fun right now, but I still have to edit the video for tomorrow's Advent of Vim thingy. And it's like, you can see it here, almost 22:11 p.m. here in the Germany. And I need to get some Z's still. Hopefully tonight. But this was fun. Thanks for being here. Thanks for DD there. Right. Oh, Cheap Home Tech is here. Now he's here. He could have saved us so much trouble. Like you won't know the exact city because it's a small, more like a town, not a city. But it's near Frankfurt am Main. Like in Hessen or Hesse. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Dari. I will have to cut out many mistakes I made, probably. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Cool, Cheap Home Tech. Sorry that you're like a little bit too late. I was trying out Ad, and yeah, I think I managed to at least know the basics now. Like I can get a prompt, I can get help, or I can see the error messages, I can add lines, I can insert lines, I can substitute stuff. I know a few of the things from Vim, of course. But my actual question would be like the easiest way to add something to a line that's already there without rewriting the whole line or without using substitute. Do you know how to do that? I will stay until you say, until you explain that to me. These few minutes I have. So we've got this file here, right? This HTML file. What if I wanted to, like I'm on the last line here on the HTML tag. Yeah, with sed substitute. Yeah, okay, then in add you can do the same thing. So that's what I did, but I thought maybe there would be another way then. But that's the thing. So you would target like the in this case you would target like the closing tag and then just add the closing tag and add something else, right? So this comes at the end of the line here. Then hit enter. And yes. So that's the best way. But then we found out. I guess we already found out. Yeah, in this case, I just was looking at this line. So the easiest way to add something to a line, like if there would have been like another less than sign, then this wouldn't work. I know. So if we now do like the oh, but the dot should be escaped, right? Like the dot and add another less than sign here. Then we have this, would have this. And if we now would do the same thing, that wouldn't work, right? So now I would add this after the HTML tag. So this would be like this. Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to add something to the end of the line. Riz or Aris. Hey. Good to see you. Oh damn, I don't want to go actually, but I have to soon. Yeah, it's going great. We didn't watch any YouTube, but I watched one video in the beginning, but then I thought maybe I'm just gonna try out ad, and that's what we did here. Like I'm now a professional ad guy, I guess. I use ad, by the way. Thanks, Cheap Home Tech, and also thanks for becoming a member. You have this star in this chat here right now, and also I already saw that. Yeah, I know. It was more like a fun project here. We also use links right now, so I want to quit without writing here. So we use links to watch to look at the HTML page we created here. And you just reinstalled Aris. I've never installed Arch yet. I installed Gentoo back in the days, like I don't want to say a year count now, but like 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. Something around that. Yeah. What year do we have? Could also be a little bit earlier even. But I'm mainly using macOS now and Linux, and not as a desktop operating system anymore. Yeah, and great that you like the LSP video, Cheap Home Tech, and yeah. Hey, you've got WSL, right? Problem with I'm using containers here, right? So I have okay, that's the Alpine kernel here because of the virtual machine that Docker uses, but what is it? TC OS release or something? Like I'm on Fedora in this container, but there's no Arch image for the ARM processor here, so there's no Docker image. I could actually use ARM here on my Mac. Oh man, I kind of envy you, Cheap Home Tech. So my first computer was like a Commodore C64. Red Hat Bugzilla. Kedari. Fedora is nice. Like I've used it as a desktop also a few years ago, and also on my mini PC. But I actually am never at the mini PC. Always on the Mac. But yeah. Yeah, and what I wanted to say is like I have got this. I had this Commodore 64, and I always wanted to have an Amiga, and the Amiga is also where VI was born. No, not VI, Vim, like Bram developed it on an Amiga back in the days. Yeah, that was like I got it when I was 8. And mostly played games and programmed my first like infinite loops in there, like with basic 10 print you are so great, 20 go to 10, and then run it. Yeah, when you're 8, that's kind of cool. And I still remember there were some magazines coming with a floppy disk that you could actually put into your C64, and then you could read like the magazine on the screen. And I found it so cool back in the day. It is actually just way older and way slower with 64 kilobytes of RAM. Yeah, German magazines back in the days. So yeah, it was nice. But on the other hand, I never had like anything to do with Mac or Apple computers until, I don't know, like 2010 when I got my first MacBook or something. Yeah, it's probably because you're young, Dari. I guess. You're from you're actually from, can't speak, from the future, right? You're from 23, 25. So like 300 years in the future. Gen Z. I'm right on the edge of like 2 different generation thingies. I like to call me a millennial, I guess, because I'm born 1980. But in some definitions, I am a millennial, and in some others, I'm something else. I don't know what the other generation is. Let's see. Generation Y or something. I don't know. Here's some kind of... Oh, it's German, sorry. Like here's Generation X. I'm just Generation X. If I go according to this chart, and then there's some other chart where I'm a millennial. Oh, it's so bright. Windows 95. Yeah, but the Commodore 64 is actually being revived right now. So if you want to check it out, like there's some, I guess some, let's look at YouTube. There are videos all over it. Some content creator or something bought, yeah, like this one. I'm not sure if it's really him. No, I guess not. But some content creator bought the brand or something, and they revived the Commodore 64, and it just came out. So
Commodore 64 Ultra.
You can have a look at it again. Yeah, and Win95 was my second Windows on my first PC. So I got my first PC. It was a Pentium 90, I guess. Still with DOS 6.2.2 and Windows 3.11. But shortly after that, then Windows 95 came out. And that was like the main thing when I switched to PCs. Oh, you're wow. 3 years back, Aris. So you're probably also quite young. Reviving a PDP 11. So that was also Commodore, right? PDP 11. I'm not sure. That was actually before my time, I guess. Or was it Commodore? No, it was not. It was from DEC. Okay. The Commodore was called PET, I guess. Right? PET. Or Commodore PET. PET will result in other things, I guess. Yeah, like this here. That was the one I was thinking you meant. Cheap Home Tech. Yeah. What's the next steps? Can you do anything on the Commodore in 2025? I guess yes. I think it's like a little bit changed because that was such a cool keyboard. You have different connections. So you have an HDMI output. That was something like an antenna thingy back in the day, so you could use it with a TV. Oh, okay. I can type 64. Doesn't automate. Classic form. Ultimate function from $2.99 today. So compatible with all the originals. But you have like Wi-Fi game transfer and USB cassette. So you can do at least all the stuff you could do back then. Let's watch like this 1 minute promotion video.
There's many times when I think of you and all those things that you used to do.
You can play games like
But
these.
the harder I think, the more it seems to be.
Yeah, that was a floppy drive there, right there, here. And there were also cassette tapes back in the day.
Seems to be
You see all these smiling people in front of them computers.
in a complicated world, but it's simple like you do. You're ready. I'll be waiting there for you, and we can start.
I remember these joysticks. Like you had so many games like summer games or winter games or something like that, where you would have to mash these side by side, and yeah, sometimes they would break. Oh, this is not safe for work, I guess. Here, what kind of posters are there? Barbarian. Yeah.
When you're ready, I'll be waiting for you.
Retro gaming, modern power. Grab your
So you have like modern stuff with the old thing. Maybe I will get one day, but I won't find time to use it anyway, so probably not. But if you want to look into this, please do. So before I go, the goal ended already. Yeah, I set a goal to try out Helix on the next live stream, but nobody did this. Nobody did a super chat back then. So let's see what we do next week. Also, I'm not sure exactly when next week the live stream will be, because on Wednesday there's actually Christmas Eve, right? And in Germany that's the main part here. So I won't be online then, I guess. Okay, Cheap Home Tech is like fully immersed into the NVIM ecosystem right now. I don't know what happens if I leave this chat, by the way. If I leave the stream, is this chat running still a little bit, or are you all kicked out then? Yeah, probably, right. Okay, then I'm sorry to have to kick you out, because I actually have to edit this now. Already a little bit over. But it was really fun. I hope to see you next week someday, maybe Friday or something. I can't promise anything, but I will try to be online next week. And yeah, hope you all have great holidays, everyone who celebrates them, or whatever holidays you are celebrating. And yeah, hope to see you next week. Tschüss. Yeah, tschüss. Thanks. Yeah. See you around and take care. Thanks for being here.